Okay, it just said the broadcast is live, so I guess he's recording now.
Okay, good. So as long as we got that indicator, we can just start going in.
For sure, and then it
We
just
don't
got
even
to get
do it
this
over.
little part of it right here. Um, I guess I'll intro the podcast. Just give
Yeah,
me a
hold up
second.
though. We are on episode 202.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready to go, I guess give us a big clap and then just
I
start
do the
cutting the
snap
audio.
hold my phone with one hand.
Hey, Ian or Isaiah, tell your mom to come get the little guy and turn off the light over there. Okay. Now.
Okay. Yo, what up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans of all ages? We are back for a new episode of the Mania Podcast. Neo,
Yes,
this is
sir.
episode what?
202.
202 with your two favorite bros right here, me and Neo X.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got G1 in the background producing the produce. He's going to be on in a minute, so bear with us, y'all.
The producers producing. We got Rock out there roaming the streets right now, and
he can't pod for some reason. His podcast machine broke.
And Mega Ran just took a flight out to make some money, kiss some babies, and shake some hands.
Yeah, so, did he say? I don't even know where. Did he say he was going up somewhere in the Midwest?
He said where he was going. I just don't remember.
Right on. Well, speaking of Mega Ran, the boss is on tour, so that's the reason why he is out and about. So if you have a chance, go to megaran.com/shows, and then you can check out all the places that the Teacher Rapper Hero will be in.
Yeah, Minneapolis or Minnesota, or that's the same place. I don't know.
Something like
that. Do you know? Who knows? But he'll be there.
Yeah, and then I mean, more importantly, I'm just
don't want to miss it.
I'm just psyched that he's going to be back home. I think it was September 3rd, right? He said September 3rd.
He said that show was on his birthday.
So yeah, birthday show. That show is going to be fun because it's going to be Playboy Man Baby, which are really fun, and the Oakley Dokley's Together Pangea. So this is a very, very interesting mix of bands at the Van Buren show.
You got tickets? Or are you hoping for the Mega Ran backstage hookup?
You know what? I always pray for the Mega Ran backstage hookup. I welcome the backstage hookup. I still buy a ticket just because I know that's probably one of the best ways to support the artist, right? So, I think you could speak to that as an artist. I think you would rather have the homies come and pay homage rather than try to sneak homage.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes it's cool. Like I've had shows where the homies have paid, and I was like, man, if you would have just hit me up and let me know you was out there, like I would have.
Yeah.
And like sometimes, especially if the crowd is decent, you're not dying off of a few bucks or whatever. But
exactly.
I get what you're saying. You pay the way so the homie ain't got a long list of names that he got to sneak in, and But the Mega Ran stimulus package, it's a thing.
and on that note, since we are local here in the Valley, and as I said, megaran.com/shows, if you don't catch the Van Buren show, he'll be back to hit the Rebel Lounge as well. So you got two chances at Mega Ran. Yes, sir. 2 chances at Mega Ran. And you know what? I'll just put this out there into the universe. Please come if you're vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, stay your dirty ass at home. Because we over here are vaxxed, waxed, and ready for Thought Boy Summer. That was the theme of SummerSlam, according to Derek Montilla, a.k.a. Captain Caveman of the Steel Cage, dressed in all of his rompers. He had a romper for each day.
Out there feeling like the wingman, man.
Exactly. Touching tips. but yeah, man, it was really good. I mean, and just so y'all know, if you're keeping up on all the socials, of course, Matt Mania podcast on Twitter and Matt Mania Pod on Instagram. we've been posting, all the updates on our trip to Las Vegas. Like Teek said in the beginning, this felt more like a Las Vegas show with wrestling in the middle, right?
Yeah, we were out there doing some thrusting and some leg kicks.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a fun time. Like I said, it was just a much needed getaway. A lot of, due to COVID and the pandemic and everything, we don't really see each other in person a lot and things like that. So we all risked it and braved our way to Vegas, that bitch of a city, and and she treated us horribly while we were out there. And
it was weird. I felt like a lot of my time was wasted on just trying to get around, and we were and especially
out there.
Yeah, because of all the other different events, and especially because I only went there for a day, so I missed out on all the Friday shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? So, catch me up. What did y'all even do on Friday?
But also the Friday shenanigans is why I didn't go out Saturday.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was a little weirded out that it took a lot out of us, man. It was a lot.
Friday we showed up at the show where Mega Ran was
that doing the FSW show or something like that, right?
It wasn't an FSW show though. It was another promotion that was doing their show out of the FSW location.
It was the GCW, right?
No, the GCW was later that night. We went there also.
Okay,
so,
I'm all sorry.
I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember what the promotion is where we were at, but Mega Ran was doing commentary there, and me and Juicy, we just showed up right there soon as we got there because they were already there. So they said, "Don't go check in, just come here." So we went there, and I saw these guys wrestle right here. The shirt that I got on, Lights Camera Faction.
Dope.
They were wrestling there.
That was at the FSW cross promotion show, right?
Yeah, exactly. What the dude's name? Watkins.
Watkins. He's a local homie too, and I think isn't Ice Williams? Isn't he in there too?
Yeah, they're part of the Lights Camera Faction. So when we saw him out there, we're like, oh yeah, I know this guy. So we were kicking it with him, and they had some dope matches. Disco Inferno was there though. He got booed.
Solo Inferno. Beak shared this amazing photo of Disco Inferno looking like Virgil, just kind of chilling in the background, just kind of sitting there trying to collect.
He definitely got ragged on. But so we left that show, went to go get food. After that, we went and checked out Renee Young's podcast. She was
oral sessions with Renee.
Yeah, we went and got some oral sessions
with Charlotte.
Yeah, from Renee and Charlotte Flair.
Ooh.
And then after that, then we went and got dressed.
Well, real quick, but before you move on, did you get any juicy nuggets from that podcast, from that show, the oral sessions one?
How much had I drank or smoked at this point?
That is the question of the day.
I don't think that I was really focused on what Charlotte had to say. It was towards the end though, also. So we had damn near the whole her whole interview with her, and we just caught like the tail end of it. And then after that, we went and got dressed for the night out. We went to see the Good Brothers.
A little talking shop.
Where we also saw one of our other good brothers, JB.
and the other good brother AJ.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that, but yeah, it was good seeing Jonathan out there because he was running this shit. So
word.
yeah, he was at the front of the house, so he just got us in. He just told us to go grab seats, and he was controlling shit of the show. So I know he does like talking shop merch, or he helps with stuff like that. So
Yeah,
he's
see,
in there.
I thought it was what's his name? I thought Emilio Sparks was the boy that helped out a lot with that show too.
Yeah, he does their he
production.
does the actual production on the podcast. Yeah, because they were talking about him. Because what's his name was there? Sorry, G1. Are you live or is that a picture?
Rocky Romero.
No, that's me.
Yeah, Rocky Romero was there. That's why I was telling G1 because I think.
Hey! Shout out to Rocky Romero, Mr. Rapongi 3K himself.
Yeah, he was hosting the Talking Shop podcast that they were doing. So it was him, the Good Brothers. They were, talking shit, wilding out, getting drunk and whatnot. And then they brought Mojo out, which I don't know what he's going by now, or what his real name is. G1, you might be able to help us with that.
I don't, because Mojo has never been that important of a kid for us to do. But we love him. He's dope. At the time,
he came out and he was like, "Oh, like I thought y'all were gonna bring me out a long time ago. I'm about to get ready to leave, but I got somebody who can replace me or whatever." And then it was AJ, and that was a surprise for everybody. The Good Brothers, they didn't know AJ was showing up. The only person who knew was Anderson's wife.
Wait, AJ, not
Styles, sir.
Really?
Yeah, AJ Styles showed up on Talking Shop podcast.
Oh wow, that's dope. They barely let him do shit outside of WWE except for maybe so that's cool.
Yeah, we joked about if he was gonna get in trouble or not, and and stuff like that. And then like I said, that was just a big shock. And he came in, everybody popped. Nice. After that, he was up there probably 15 minutes, maybe something like that. And then he dipped off backstage, and then Mojo came back out. And there was a part where they did like a Q&A session, and I asked Mojo where was his gimmick going before he left WWE.
Well, that's also yes, sir. Yeah, I was about to say you got to recap that forgettable moment.
That's what I told him, where he had the blue paint on his face and the glass was breaking, and he said, "Fucking nowhere." That's where that gimmick was going.
Damn, just like that, huh?
And everybody had a good laugh about that. And then they sung, what the fuck was they singing? He's a grizzled young vet. I don't know if that's something that they normally sing on the podcast. I watch it or listen.
I think Gallows has sung it before. He's a grizzled young vet. He's a grizzled young vet.
What the fuck?
Curtain jerking something in the beginning of the set. I don't know. But yeah, that's a Talking Shop classic for sure.
He was drunk and sung that like 3 times. I think he kept doing it because he knew that the crowd was getting tired of it. So he was like, again, and he kept singing it. But
that's funny.
He was just filling time at that point.
I see y'all out there with friend of the podcast and first black member of the Bullet Club, our boy Chris Bay.
Yeah, so after we left Talking Shop, we went to GCW. That was
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Which earlier that day, it was told that we should not show up at all because there was no room and that it was sold out.
I know, man. I saw on the socials that show was tighter than a dolphin's butt. Like it was.
How you know how tight a dolphin's butt is, man?
It was
magic, and we got in.
Hey, but you know what? It just goes to show you just act like you belong, and Sometimes it'll work.
I was saying, you know what? I was saying that to my lady at SmackDown. We'll talk about Phoenix SmackDown in a minute, but I was saying that because where we were sitting at, great view, by the way. But I was like, damn, see, if the guys were here, or at least if I knew who was running the show by firsthand, there was like 4 seats right in the front row that were like vacant the entire fucking show. I'm like, shit, we would have been out. That'd have been great, but still, it was good shows. You know, it's only the second show I've been to with Pyro, so it's cool.
We didn't stay long at the GCW show. We stayed long enough to see Chris Bay and Too Cold Scorpio.
Yeah.
Too Cold Scorpio, yeah. He's still doing backflips with his own. That's dope.
And also, Juventud was there. He had a booth for our table outside.
Oh. Yeah.
So saw the
that's dope, man.
There.
That's nice.
And we saw Nick Gage come out and the Murder, Death, Kill, and the shit was crazy.
It's crazy how over he is.
Super over in indie scene. Yeah,
he got a hell of a following.
Did Cardona showed up at all at that show? Just out of curiosity.
Not
Matt
sure.
Cardona.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, I didn't see him. I don't know what happened earlier, and we didn't even stay for the Nick Gage match. Like his entrance was like 5 minutes, and we stayed and watched that, and then we dipped off. And
that's right. You said that.
That was when we went to the Nerd, and Woods was at the Nerd, and that's where Chris Bay was at the Nerd. Carlito was there.
Oh man, see, I think that Nerd show would have been even more fun. I think the Saturday show or the Saturday Nerd Sesh was fun, but in the back of my mind, I keep thinking that Friday show would have been way better.
Yeah, pardon my ignorance. What's the Nerd? Yeah.
The Nerd Bar is essentially the unofficial Matt Mania bar. Whenever we hit up Vegas, right, T? Because we've been there a whole bunch of times at this point.
Gotcha.
Right.
It's on Fremont Street.
It's the go-to spot for all the wrestlers when they're out there too, though. Like,
oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, try to give them a follow on social media. It's worth it. They do a lot of good stuff. But you know, definitely worth the time to make it there. Plus, they got a secret speakeasy opening up. Can't wait to see more of that.
Secret speakeasy, huh?
Also, who else was there? Willie Mack was there.
Yeah, I seen one of y'all take a picture with Willie Mack. I think that was you. See, yeah.
Marty was there. Marty the Moth, he was there.
I don't even know who that is. Still, I hear y'all talk about him all the time, but I've never met him.
That's Lucha Underground shit, baby.
Oh, okay, got you.
And yeah, we just
that was on Friday show, right?
Yeah, there were some porn stars there that was riding like a mechanical dick.
Oh wow, it was lately.
When I say mechanical dick, I mean like a mechanical bull, but it was a dick.
No, I get it. I got it.
If you need to paint the picture,
I'm clarifying for the listeners.
Yeah, no, I think our listeners might have
trying to paint the picture with your mind.
And also, Conan was there backstage doing his podcast. K-Dog?
Oh shit!
Yeah, and this was Mass Republic. I'm sure Neo knows who they are.
Yes, sir.
Mass Republic was running the podcast in the back, so we got back there. But then, who he brought out to interview was fucking Alberto Del Rio. So we bounced.
Oh yeah,
y'all. Yeah. Oh, so y'all bounced when he was doing a podcast?
Yeah, we bounced when he brought out Alberto Del Rio to start interviewing him for the podcast. We was like,
gotcha.
Oh no.
Oh, poor Alberto dug himself into a hole.
Yeah. We also had got at some point we had got drinks because we had the fucking Fat Tuesday drinks, and then that was earlier in the day. But then after the Nerd, we got food and we went back to the crib. So, you know, Friday was a great day. Neo was out there with us Saturday. And
nice.
And yeah, Vegas, fuck you. We was in you, now we out of you. What you gonna
I
do
think
about
that's
it?
again. It goes back to what you had mentioned earlier, man. It was a Vegas trip with wrestling in the middle. I mean, honestly, I think after the show, which I know we'll get into, I know we still got to do the put overs, but I wanted to say, I mean, at this point, after SummerSlam, you really appreciate the indie shows. Well, I guess in my opinion, I think I start to appreciate the indie shows even more than the actual big shows like SummerSlam or even Mania. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think I'm at the point where if the next big pay-per-view if the next big WWE pay-per-view doesn't hit, then I think I'm just gonna skip those all together and just do the the shows around the big four pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Shout out to Dave over at Nerds. What up, dude? Talking about Ruben Studdard.
I remember that one.
I'll never live that down. New York. That shit was funny as hell.
Oh boy!
Oh man! What up, bro?
Shout out to Nerds Clothing. Love
I
Nerds
think
Clothing.
the next show that I would be trying to go to would be an AEW show, though. Honestly,
AEW need to bring their ass to Phoenix. I've been saying that on Twitter heavy.
If I'm gonna pay to go somewhere now, to fly somewhere or travel somewhere to see a show, it'll probably be a AEW show. I know we went to SummerSlam because it was driving distance, but I don't even think that I would drive for another WWE show outside of when WrestleMania goes back to LA. At this point, unless
it's in the city, then that's different.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's in the city, then that's a no-brainer. We'll be there. Right. But I'm saying anything that's going to take some effort for me, it'll probably be going to an AEW show because I haven't been to one in a while. I know Neo went to one more recent than me, but the last one I went to when they were in Vegas.
That's what, right. I was going to say we both went to that. That was technically their first event, their first official event as a company. So yeah, that was the first and last one I've been to. I don't know why they ain't made their way to Phoenix yet.
So the most west that they've traveled as of now, I mean, outside Texas. Of Vegas, is going to be pretty much Texas. But I mean, I would have imagined that they can definitely get
I'll go to
something
Texas
going in California because I almost feel like almost a little bit. Maybe less than half their rosters from California.
They need to,
but it's the logistics of the matter. You got to move everything, blah blah blah. I mean, I get it. So here's to hoping. But it'd be dope if we could just fly to Chicago. Chicago's not that bad,
man. One day I was salty as hell that I still couldn't get the All Out.
To see them in Chicago, but I'm saying if we were to plan it, we
can make it work.
Texas would be dope, but Texas is kind of I don't know, man. Going to Texas or Florida in this climate is still such a big risk. Yeah. So, hey, shout outs to Mega Ran in the chat. Thank you for joining us, boss. We appreciate you.
What up?
But before we start getting into all the wrestling,
seen AEW in Chicago when we went to StarCast,
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all have I have.
We saw AEW when it was in its concept phases.
Yeah.
But before we get into all the wrestling, let's do the put over portion of the show because outside of the world of wrestling, there's something else. Mostly just shows. So what y'all got? T, do you want to go first? You want to talk about that town that you like?
Hey, I know what that is.
To those who are not from there, they might call it Richardsville, but to the locals, baby. And and I've been watching this show. I stumbled onto it on Hulu. It's from FX, I believe, but it's just
nice.
12-minute. It's just 12-minute episodes. So with me watching stuff like Aqua Teen and shit, I'm used to, or even watching Close Enough like we do. We're used to the short episodes. So it's 12-minute episodes, and it's about a private eye in Dicktown. So he's from there, and he was a kid, and while he was a kid, he was a detective, like the fucking detective books or whatever when you were a kid or whatever with the teens doing the shit. So he was a teen detective, and now he grew up and he's still a detective, but he really only works with teens solving their cases.
So it's like a grown-up Hardy Boy or something like that.
Exactly. Yes, a grown-up Hardy Boy. But when I was watching it, what it reminded me of a lot of was you familiar with Venture Brothers?
Yes.
Hey.
So I was like, these two act like if the Venture Brothers were grown up, if they were adults. That's why I laugh at it, because I look at it like,
oh, okay,
you motherfucking idiots. Like he's smart, but he's stupid, So
that's dope, man.
And you got like dope people doing the voice acting, because you had Zach Galifianakis was on there, Jean Grey was on there,
nice.
John Benjamin,
as in the rapper Jean Grey.
Oh, nice, yeah. John Benjamin.
Oh, that's fire.
John Benjamin from Bob's Burgers and Archer. He was on an episode. So yeah, and they only got one season on there. It's like 10 episodes, but like I said, they're 12-minute episodes. So I digested it so quick that I'm rewatching episodes of it.
Right.
That's dope. Yeah, it's dope.
Fire.
Yeah, well, myself, I've been actually watching another show on Hulu called Reservation Dogs.
I want to check that out. I've seen that on there. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty funny. I really like it. The summary says like this: 4 indigenous teenagers, because they live on the reservation in rural Oklahoma, they steal, they rob, and they save their money in order to because the dream is they want to get out of this reservation town and they want to make it to California. So it's funny because they're like building up their crew, and now they're going up against another crew. And like the first episode, they stole a truck full of potato chips. And of course, the hilarity then follows. But I really recommend it too. These episodes are a little bit longer. I want to say they're about I think it's 30 or 45 minutes, to be honest. But yeah, man, I think it's a really good show. It's definitely in this season's rotation. But now that you mentioned up Dicktown, I think since it's on Hulu, I'll give it a holler too.
Yeah, check it out, man, and let me know what you think. Like I said, they're short episodes, so you'll be able to digest it quick and decide if it's something you want to watch or not. But Reservation Dogs, they called me with the trailer when I saw them walking around like Reservoir Dogs, in the trailer.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what's going on with this?
Did you also catch the part of the trailer with them two twins? They rolled up on their lowrider bikes and they were rapping.
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's the punchline.
That's the hook.
Two twins rolling up in lowrider bikes, of course, on the reservation, rapping about popping their Glock.
Oh man, that sounds like a good ass time. I scrolled across it on Hulu. I seen it. I'm like, that name is interesting. I definitely have no choice but to check it out. Because off top, animated sitcom name. He said it has some shout outs to the Venture Brothers a little bit, or reminds him of that. I was a fan of the Venture Brothers, so I'm definitely looking forward to checking that out for sure. All right, and I originally didn't have a put over, but considering that we haven't really had an episode in a while, I have not had a chance to talk about this, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this now. There was a single that dropped about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago by R&B artist that I'm familiar with, one of my favorites, Brent Falyaz. He dropped a single called "Wasting Time," and this is him featuring Drake over a production by my spiritual brothers Pharrell and Chad, aka the Neptunes. It's now starting to gain some radio traction, but I was like invested in the single heavily the moment that it dropped. Obviously, as I've already spoken before, I'm a diehard Pharrell and Chad fan, and I'm a super Brent Falyaz fan. He's the front runner of a group called Sonder, which is normally him and 2 producers, although he does do some solo work. And this single all was the brainchild of him being on an episode of Pharrell's show. And ended up ended up making the single. And this is probably one of Drake's hardest verses, and surprisingly, Drake's very first time on a Neptunes beat. For both of them the same, but surprising for Drake. But dope single, has that classic stripped down Neptunes vibe, you know, minimal drum work, some 808s and some crazy chords, and they just let the artists do their thing. And it's a vibe. I was like, I wore it out.
Really good bass vibe.
Woo! Oh, you heard it. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's that shit, man. I love it. So definitely go stream that, go download that. Ladies, I know y'all love Brent. Fuck the world, I'm a walking erection. I know y'all love Brent Falyaz. Please check out this new single. It's so dope. Wasting Time featuring Drake, produced by the Neptunes. And shout out to Pharrell and Chad for being as active on social media as I've ever seen them before. I mean, literally, like, both of them have always had individual pages. Now they have a Neptunes page, and they literally post on that boy every day. And I'm shocked for them being where they are. So that's really dope. I love seeing them. I love reposting nature. So yeah, man, shouts out to them. And it's a big record. In my opinion, it's a big record. So definitely go check it out.
Nice.
And that's what I put up.
It keeps sounding like you saying Brent Falyaz. Like
I don't. You know what? Everybody says Brent Falyaz. I don't really know how that part is pronounced. Everybody says Falyaz, so I just go with Falyaz.
Oh, I don't know if that's how you say it. I'm just saying that's how it sounds.
Yeah, like, it does. Yeah, I'm like, everybody says it that way. I don't know for sure, so I just kind of go with the public on that one. Mm-hmm.
So,
but yeah,
we got the putover section out the way. We have been all over the wrestling scene lately because, you know, here at the Mad Mania Podcast, we always there and you never there. So who wants to talk about their trip next? Neo and AAA or G1 with SmackDown?
I'll give you a quick overview. The adventure to TripleMania in Mexico City was really great. I got to just spend time with family. And more importantly, watch the wrestling down there. I got a better lay of the landscape. I feel like I'm more prepared for like the next time that I do go, which is really nice. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like everybody was telling me that it was going to be very, very, I don't know, ghetto, but it was really nice, man. So I don't know what to tell you. It was really great. You can get along. They got Ubers everywhere. So I mean, it's not hard to get around. You know, it definitely helps if you speak the language, however. But, I mean, more than that, though, it was just great just to be on the ground level, watching TripleMania, watching all the great tag teams matches that happen.
I'm sure I know what your favorite match is. So can you give us your top two matches?
Well, honestly, though, my favorite match when I reflected and meditated on it was really the triple threat, because it was Taurus, Brian Cage versus Rey Fénix, Pentagon versus Laredo Kid and Hijo de Vikingo. Like that was the match of my night. The second match was obviously Andrade versus Omega. But the only thing is with that Andrade versus Omega match, there was like too much Gaga in there, right? Lots of like gimmicks, you know, and whatnot, which kind of took away from what the fight could have been.
That's because he brought Daddy with him.
Yeah, you was Flair stuff.
Yeah,
I thought it was great that he was there by ringside, but then Conan jumped in, and then Flair jumped in, and then there was just a big hoopla about. I mean, we already have like heel,
just a bunch of old farts, huh?
Yeah, but the other thing though, in AAA, they have heel refs and face refs. So not only do you already have that element built in, but now you add this additional element with like these manager-esque people. I don't know. And then it was also weird the fact that Kenny came out with Conan. Like that made no sense to me personally. So like that was the only disappointing part. But other than that, it was great. The food was great. The wrestling was fantastic. You know, the concessions were fantastic. They're very affordable. So lots of libations, you know, and but other than that, man, I definitely recommend it if you can do it, because it definitely is an event. So much so is that they have their own dedicated swap meet in front of the stadium, which you can buy like all this wrestling merch and stuff for cheap. So
yeah, I'm definitely not going out there without you because I've never been to Mexico, and I hear too much about shit going on.
Yeah,
So
I heard
like,
too much too. That's the thing. Everybody put it in my mind like, oh, you're gonna get raped, and you're gonna get jacked, and this and that and the third.
You're gonna get
None of that happened.
choked
And,
out,
yeah, in fact, I came back with more money, so
yeah,
not a big deal.
Yeah,
But yeah, and then
the last
what's
thing
that?
we needed is winding up in jail in Mexico and somebody
oh
trying
yeah.
We'd have to pull from the Matt Mania Patreon funds, which again, if you can support us, go to patreon.com/MattManiaPod. Look us up, give us some donation. There's a back catalog of a lot of content there for you to check out.
We promise we will support you as well.
Yeah.
So
pay into that. David gets out of jail free, or David gets out of jail because of you by donating to patreon.com/MattMania. So thank you. Matt Mania Pod, excuse me, Matt Mania Pod.
Yeah.
But now that I was back home, G1 and I both made it out to SmackDown. I took my entire family out.
Oh shit, you were there? I didn't know you were in town.
Yeah, because you're not in the group chat. So whatever.
Yeah, you got it. I'm like, man, text me. You got my number. Like, hit me up.
So so I made it there. I had pretty bad seats in my opinion. I was in the second level. But it was still dope because we could still see all the action, but I took my entire family. So that was kind of like that was the reason why I couldn't make it on Friday to Vegas, because I had to, I have to level it out, family time.
Had to get them situated.
But yeah, man, I mean the honestly though, the lead up to SummerSlam. Yes, sir. But the lead up to SummerSlam, that show on Friday, I wasn't that impressed. Like I really felt like there was just like a bunch of like WWE commercials and like not enough matches, bunch of WWE segments. And not enough matches, like,
and it'd be like that, especially when the segments don't have like a ton of weight to them. Yeah, like after going to after going to so many of these WWE shows, a lot of the cool stuff tends to happen off camera. Yeah. Like you seen the match that happened after broadcast time was over.
Yeah, the dark match was really fun.
That was cool.
It was really just Dominic just getting his ass. He was getting dog shit beat out of him.
And I'm gonna be honest, and I'm glad you brought up Dominic, because now that I've actually seen him in person, because I've never seen Dominic in person. I've never seen Ray in person, and I've never seen Edge in person all up until now. But Dominic, in order for me to take him seriously as time goes on, he needs to like put on some weight and like tone up a little bit, because he look like when you see him in person, he's too small, and he's
tall at least.
He's tall, but like just his arms, there's no definition. There's nothing like he has to put on some weight, you know what I'm saying? Like he's like, it's like, I'm like, damn, he really, and he's a great performer. That's not taking away from his performance ability at all. But just look wise, I need him to put on a little weight. That if he can do that, he's top. If he can do that, he's dope. Because as a performer, he does his thing. He takes bumps. You don't cry about shit. I
didn't notice that too much because he wears like a lot of articles of clothing.
He does.
So I think that's what takes away from it.
But you can see his arms though. Like his arms are terribly like small. You know what I'm saying?
He needs to put on more clothing.
Right. Maybe he need to go gold dust and just put on the whole bodysuit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's not the arm. He kind of small, bro. Like
he needs more tacos in his life.
Like, man, even his dad is as short as Ray is. Ray looks like The Rock, just micro.
Well, Ray,
you know what I'm saying? He looks like the boulder, the pebble.
WWE because it's like big. So Ray got
I ain't gonna front though. The dark match was still good. I mean, because they're all still athletic.
That's what I'm saying.
But it was
dark match
essentially the beat up Dominic until he's halfway dead, and then bring in Cena for the hot tag.
Basically,
which was it was pretty good. He still missed the 5-knuckle shuffle, but
he did.
what can you do? But man, like honestly, I think the only segment that carried the most weight.
Brew bath
was probably the Edge segment. That was really nice, but honestly, like I wasn't super impressed. It wasn't like I saw more recaps on the big screen than I did like the segments in ring,
right?
Which is kind of sad. But you know what though, it was still pretty dope because the Phoenix crowd showed up. They showed love. It was really packed, in my opinion.
Yes.
Which was really encouraging to see.
Not
a lot of people wearing their masks, so shame on you.
Yeah, I was. Everybody, everybody definitely did show up and show out.
I know in Vegas, you saw that.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But yeah, man, everybody showed up and showed out. Like I said, the grandeur for me was just seeing some people who I've never had the opportunity. Like the last SmackDown that we went to, which was February of last year, prior to the pandemic kicking off, I got to see Goldberg for the first time, and I'd never seen Goldberg in person. So for me at that time, that was like tremendous. This particular time, the biggest part of that was as a diehard Edge fan for many years, never thinking that I would ever see Edge at a live show, and then now he's unretired in competition, and older and gritty looking, and it's cool it was cool to see him. It was cool to see that entrance. It was cool to know where he was going with that entrance versus the people I had with me. So that part of it was fun. I think if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have really enjoyed it that much. Because I mean, Cena's great, but Cena's just not, how I feel about Cena.
Cena's for the kids because there was lots of Cena merch that was being thrown out. I saw.
Oh my god, it was a lot of Cena merch that was being
Cena gear. So that
worn.
tells me, like, again, it doesn't matter how long Cena's been gone. Like you can sell them bright green shirts like hockey.
He's like Superman to them kids. I shit you not. I was in section 115, and 2 sections directly above me, there was some kid that was literally screaming at the top of his fucking lungs during that dark match. I'm like, yo, like, I love you, Cena, bro, Roman, bro. So like, he's like kept repeating himself. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, G1,
yeah.
How you feel about Cena is kind of how I feel about somebody who I would want to speak about from a different promotion, and his name is Christian.
That's not fair.
Yeah, it's fair. I'm about to go on a double-edged sword rant real quick because I feel like AEW is doing a lot of stuff good, right? I feel like they're doing a lot of stuff right. Love watching the program when I get a chance to. When we say that it's just like WCW and people want to argue that, they make it really hard to argue that when they're picking up all of WWE scraps. Now, when I say scraps, they're all, for the most part, they're all good pickups. When I'm saying scraps, I'm talking about that you're picking them up strictly to pull WWE fans over. And like the CM Punk shit, I just watched that today. It was a huge pop. It was a huge moment. I understand the fans loved that, and they were crying in the audience. And
one person in particular ended up.
They've been chanting his name for 7 years, he said, and AEW gave them exactly what they needed. Like, that was fan service. Like, here is what y'all have wanted. Here's to have it. But that still don't make it less of a WWE. This is a fuck you because we got somebody who y'all had and y'all don't have them no more. And the only thing that I appreciate about CM Punk is that he called out Darby Allin. So at least his program will be with an AEW guy. I'm not really feeling Christian and Omega or Christian winning that title, but I know it ties into Impact, which Christian was there as well. So I understand it. But what I don't like is the old guys getting the programs over the younger or the AEW made talent. I just like you don't like it in WWE with them bringing Goldberg and throwing him in the title picture, bringing Cena, throwing him in the title picture. I don't like them doing it in AEW either.
But I mean, Christian is now a champion for Impact.
Yeah,
you know?
True. Which I get, because I mean he has a pretty. You weren't watching it during those times, Teak, I know, but I was, and like Christian's run in Impact was, well, TNA at the time was incredible. So it like the rotation of that I think is really cool because he has history in that promotion, and that's gonna go well on that side. We'll see what everything looks like at All Out. I mean, clearly him and Kenny, put on a really phenomenal match. Even before the antics and everything, they put on a really solid match. Like Christian Cage is one of those.
He can still go.
He's one of those hybrids to where like he's an old guy, but the way that he wrestles is not outdated. He's never been a super flippy dude. He's a great mechanic. He's a mechanical striker that can pull you in when he needs to. And it's like whether he's wrestling old guys or whether he's wrestling young guys, his style never feels out of place. It never.
I'll definitely give him his flowers for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's why I said it's a double-edged sword, because
it's hard, right? You're right. And I could agree in some ways with what you're saying too, T.
Like when I heard they were debuting Rampage, we were talking in the group chat about, oh man, all this AEW talent that they have on Dark, or all this AEW talent that don't get a chance to be on TV. Now they got another show, they're going to get a chance to be on TV, and then they use it as a platform to debut CM Punk. Like, on both sides of that fence, I understand the argument, because AEW did what AEW needed to do in Chicago to make them
exactly
players in the game,
Right. One of my favorite. I always, I'm big on motivational quotes and stuff like that. One of my favorite quotes is "Civis pacem parabellum," which is actually Latin. Latin for "if you want peace, prepare for war." So like AEW's just been doing a lot of warmongering with WWE and otherwise bringing everybody else together. And the only reason they have no choice but to warmong with WWE, because WWE not going to do the whole collaborative effort thing as long as certain powers that be are still the chairman. But AEW is trying to like recreate the damn Thanos snap with New Japan and Impact being involved. They just want, like my boy Josh say, shout out to Josh, AEW is the new Disney. They trying to fuck with everybody.
Right, but what I feel is going to happen, or what I see is happening, is that what's going to happen is we're going to see our dream matches, right?
Yes.
Because the door is open. So you're going to see the New Japan guys versus the WWE guys you would have never saw, or the TNA guys and whatever.
Correct.
But that's going to overshadow all the talent that AEW was supposed to be building, because now it's going to go from creating talent to no, we're just doing crossovers now.
Yeah, but also I don't feel like it's going to overshadow the real stars. Like in all honesty, I don't see the start, because this is how I look at it. Rampage is nothing but a third hour of Dynamite. And I knew that before the show started. Rampage is hour number 3 of Dynamite. Instead of giving it to you all in one show and boring the hell out of you trying to stretch this out 3 hours like they do with Raw, or used to do with Raw, we're gonna give you that last action-packed hour on a Friday night right after WWE do their thing. Now they're shows where they're developing talent, dark elevation. Cool way to do it if you're gonna do it. It still gives them hella visibility, but the stars are gonna shine. Like I say, I don't like somebody like Britt Baker, for example. I don't see any situation. She's gonna continue to be a major player in the women's division, whether she has that belt or not, because really her persona is big. And then shit.
But they gave her an opportunity and put her in the title picture though. So you saying she's gonna be a major player without the title? Yeah, because she was already in the title picture. That's like saying take Charlotte away from the title picture. She'll still be a major player.
Right. But I mean, there's others. That was just
and to be a player first, and that's what they're not doing with a lot of people. Is even putting that position to be players. It's like applying for a job and they saying you need experience, and you like, well, how am I gonna get the experience if you don't give me the job?
Yeah. But then, like, I don't know. It's just it's weird, and I guess that's only because like I'm watching what they consider the developmental shows as well. So I'm seeing who's next or who's coming up and who's probably about to be seen more on like the curveball that I didn't expect to be in the picture was Red Velvet, and then she started showing up on Dynamite, and I'm like, oh wow, okay. And then they had on Ramp. I'm like, okay, this was so like I knew like I was watching her on Dark and on Dark Elevate. I didn't know that she was really going to be that player, and then she really started showing up and showing out. A couple of other cats. What's the guys that just contracts expired? They came over. What's the tag team? Neo 2.0, I think they're called. Yeah. You know, shit. I seen they I guess have proven themselves. I seen them on like 2 episodes of Dark, and then apparently them and that third guy who fought Moxie the other week. You
gotta keep your eye out on Daniel Garcia. He is
Garcia is nice. I was like, wow, okay. You know, so it's like man, it's still they still on that slow rise. And honestly, the WCW comparisons, I love them. I'm you know what I'm saying? Like, I think people got to a point, like just with me following the social media stuff, people have gotten to a point where they stop fighting the WCW comparisons. And some people are like me. If it is somewhat comparable to a WCW, great. I thought WCW in their final years were phenomenal, in my opinion. So shit, I want them to keep doing whatever WCW shit that they have to do.
Definitely a comparison. I don't feel like when people say it, they say it in a negative connotation because WCW lost in the long run, but it still was a competitor and would even beat WWE at a time. So
they had the ratings for a minute.
Like the people, I feel like AEW itself, with even calling their show Rampage and all the stuff that they do, I feel like that they know it's like a movie or whatever, poking fun at itself. Like, I think that they know, like, hey, we're going to be compared to this, but it's going to work. Because when I saw the CM Punk promo, even just when I saw CM Punk in the ring with Tony Schiavone or whatever, I'm just like you don't see Tony Schiavone and not think WCW.
Of course, you don't hear Tony Schiavone on the mic and not think WCW. Let's keep in mind that back in the day for WCW, Jim Ross in his younger years was calling for WCW. So it's all a call back for sure. Great comment by my homie Josh. Shout out to Josh. AEW is advertising like a movie theater does. You know what you're going to see and why, but they hit you with ads for snacks, local businesses, etc. while you're waiting for the movie to start. They use the younger, newer talent as more of an optional item to go along with the bigger pushed wrestlers. That's an interesting way to look at it. Neo, what are your thoughts on that, man?
Is he talking about the live show?
Just AEW in general, kind of the way they, they're sort of the way they kind of use the younger talent. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes they'll use younger talent as a bridge, or to put more attention on certain people. Granted, Darby Allin already had a crazy following prior to AEW.
Yeah, if he's talking about like how live shows are, like that'd be news to me because I haven't been to one of the live shows in like a very long time. Mm-hmm. But I can see how they're putting more stake on Orange Cassidy, Darby, Jungle Boy.
A star.
So yeah,
Jungle Boy's a star. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like them
Yeah.
all, those are all cats that, you know, again, whether they in the title picture or not, and there's no super indie darlings running with the Jurassic Express. Maybe Luchasaurus had a little bit of a run on the indies, but the rest of them are green than a motherfucker, and they have solidified themselves as stars. Darby Allin has solidified himself as a star. Who else did you just mention 2 seconds ago that I just forgot about?
Jungle Boy.
That whole Jurassic, that whole Jurassic Express movie, they've solidified themselves as stars. So it's just gonna be interesting to see what that rise is gonna be like. And I just even like the new combinations of people. You know, the Jericho taking on a faction of both people that he's already familiar with and some younger guys. You know, that definitely put Sammy Guevara, to a fault. I would love to see more Sammy. You know what I'm saying? That would be great. Mm-hmm.
Phoenix Pentagon better go over on the Jurassic Express. I know that much.
That's word. That is word.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, either way, because I'm a fan of the Jurassic Express. So either way, I would love to see the Lucha Bros win. I would love to see the Jurassic Express win. I have no particular side to that match.
I know what's up. Pick a side, motherfucker.
Nah, not for that match. It's gonna be too good. Nah, I can't. Oh man. But yeah, so more AEW to come. We already kind of have an idea of what the card for All Out to be like. I'm hoping that we let's get an episode going.
We'll get a show before,
sure. I hope. Yeah. But I'm geeked about Punk and Allen. I like Punk's promo when he's like, man, you're the wrestler that I would have looked up to when I was 15, because you don't remind me of nobody else. You definitely an outsider to the whole vibe, and I love that. They're not trying to set up like false beef just to put him in the match. He's like, I just want to challenge you. I want to see if you really that. Matter of fact, I want to see if I'm still that dude. And that's what I appreciate.
You're not that guy, pal.
When he was in UFC, he found out he wasn't that dude. So. He learned that. Unfortunately,
but hey, you win none, you lose some. I mean, or
the other way.
You win none.
Look how however that goes. Dot.
You win none, you lose all. That's what
speaking of losing all, Allegiant Stadium lost a lot of money over the SummerSlam pay-per-view.
Really? Half of that money was going to be from Neo.
Exactly. We made it out to SummerSlam. We made it to Allegiant Stadium. We were greeted by C4 energy drinks and tubs of warm water. Yeah. It was kind of a challenge to find our seats. We were in the upper decks also. And, but I like to kind of get the play-by-play from y'all who stayed for SummerSlam because you got to watch it at home, right, G1?
Yes, I watched it at home. It was a great show. Go ahead, T.
Got up and left at one point, and I thought he was bullshitting because he said, fuck this, I'm leaving. And I'm like, oh, he's just going to try to find better seats or link up with the other guys.
I did try. But again, they had that place tighter than a dolphin's butt. It was kind of hard to find seats.
Still trying to figure that one out. Hold that thought, guys.
But man, like Teek said, I legit got up after Bianca Belair lost. After Bianca Belair literally lost in like 25 seconds, 2 moves, I was fucking livid. I legit was livid. Teek calmed me down, and after he calmed me down, I was still livid. I got up and I tried to buy beer. And I couldn't buy beer because the POS system at Allegiant Stadium was down. You couldn't buy beer. You couldn't buy soda. You couldn't buy food. You couldn't buy anything. And so that kind of just set me off. So like I had to try to enjoy this pay-per-view. I had to try to enjoy this pay-per-view sober. Like, you're shitting me? Like this is the time. There's no other time in my life where I would want to spend the $15 per beer. Like, I would gladly spend the $15 per beer if it meant I can try to numb the anger that was building all up inside my body. with what I had just saw.
We sat down. He was about to buy 3 beers before we sat down. He was like, "You guys want a beer?" Just because we were fucking going on a hike through there.
Yeah, we finally made it. Like we finally got to our seats. I'm like, let's do this, and I was just so livid. Like the entire experience was bad.
were the bathrooms overflowing?
The bathrooms were really bad too. Like I got to use the bathroom. I was in the upper 200 section, and the one bathroom that I did go into was really dirty. But I did hear, on wrestling Twitter that there was lots of like plumbing problems as well.
Oh hell no!
But the only cool thing about going to the show, in my opinion, was the fact that I got a free Sprite, I got a free cheesesteak, and I got a free hot dog, and I was able to get the Uber prices just below surcharge to go back to the MGM Park. That was it, bro.
Yeah, because we all walked back from the stadium back to the MGM Park. That was not a fun walk.
And I didn't want to be there for that, bro. So that's why I said in our group chat, like, yo, I'm just gonna leave. And like, if anybody wanted to leave, that would have been the perfect opportunity, because I literally spent $9 to get back home, get back to the MGM. Yeah,
it was surge pricing when we got out.
It went up crazy, bro. And Dragon Master, most people did not have masks on, unfortunately. It was pretty bad, but we had our mask on, so we didn't have. I took my test on Friday and I came back COVID negative. So blessings on that. But it was just it was kind of a shit show all around, in my opinion. And again, in my opinion, it was just bad. Like I just didn't like it, and I think that's what kind of went back towards the beginning of my first rant, guys, where I don't think I'm going to be have the mental strength to go through another WWE show. Like if it's a big 4, I would rather do the weekend surrounding that show, GCW, FSW, any other indie shows that might have happened. Like I would rather do those. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, don't even get me started on the whole Bianca thing. I was so pissed about that shit. There was no real story-based reason. Of course, we found out later on that what happened in that match with Becky just flat out squashing Bianca was a last-minute decision by the chairman.
Oh,
Sean Spears.
Nope, not that one. But yeah, why? I know why, but why? Actually, I don't know why. I don't even know,
because it's about to be, because winter is coming, and that means that with winter coming, it's going to be, if this was the summer of Cena, it's going to be the winter of Becky. She's back. She's Austin 2.0. She's the anti-hero. She can just come out and do this to Bianca, and the fans still love her. That's what they're expecting. They're expecting that. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you brought up something like, so you think so then you're thinking it's gonna be a heel turn for Becky Lynch.
Well, no, because I feel like it's the same thing. Like, she's never been heel. I think she was Stone Cold. She's a middle person where she'll do what she has to do to win the title, and we still love her for it, is what I'm saying. So,
I thought you meant like she was gonna do Stone Cold, because I remember Stone Cold used to be face, then he would go heel. Like I remember corporate Stone Cold was heel Stone Cold, right?
Okay.
But yeah, like I think everything that I've read online is they're thinking that Becky's gonna go heel and Brock is gonna come back as a face.
Oh, we already know Brock is going baby face now. Like with his old advocate running with the current big heel. Yeah, Brock's definitely baby Viking Brock Lesnar is definitely doing a baby face turn. That's for sure. You hit the nail on the head, Neo.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, like go ahead, please.
Oh no, this was a weird segue, but I was about to say, speaking of Vikings, why they got Karrion Kross looking more like the Viking Raiders than the Viking Raiders? The fuck is up with his watch?
Karrion Kross looks like a reject from Demolition.
Somebody said he looked like a sex worker.
Not a sex worker.
There's this cool picture swirling on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it. Y'all keep going. But they're saying he looked like Leatherman or something like that.
Leatherface.
They got him on there looking like a gimp, straight off of Pulp Fiction. Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
Here it is. I'm gonna copy this link. I'll post it in the I'm gonna share the tweet in the Twitch chat if you're on Twitch. Oh no, that's not it. I just pasted Allegiant Stadium. Copy and
put it in the WhatsApp, and I can put it on the screen.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is gonna be gross. All right, there it is.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, it's a Twitter. Yep.
It's a Twitter picture that I saw. But I was just like, when I saw this, I was like, what's like I appreciate he's wearing his mask. Like, that's cool.
Oh no, hello, y'all. Oh shit! Wait
did you share it on the big screen, G? When I missed it,
I'm about to share it right now.
Yeah, Josh in the chat said Kross is like a great value, or maybe like a Kroger brand God of War Kratos.
That's all bad. Oh look, let me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only saving grace over, there you go. I think the only saving grace regarding that whole that whole SummerSlam weekend was probably TakeOver that following Sunday, because that those were banger matches, you know.
Oh man. TakeOver. We already knew what that was going to be like. Let's talk about some positivity for a minute. NXT
I would just say like TakeOver is definitely greater than
NXT's the greatest thing about WWE. Honestly, with the exception of maybe the Roman heel thing, and even that's like whatever. But NXT is the greatest thing about WWE. Honestly, it's just better in so many ways. And now I feel like they're gonna fuck it up with this rebrand that they're talking about.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But you know what? If they're gonna end on a note, they definitely ended on a high one, because Walter versus Dragunov 2 was banger. Cole O'Reilly banger. You know, I think everything was a banger. You know, come TakeOver.
Walter versus Dragunov 2 was one of the most painful matches I've ever watched in my life.
He looked like his chest was all hamburger meat, bro. It looked gross. Like his neck part and his chest was all blown up. It looked gross.
Like, and he earned that title win. I was like, man, he's like, it really looked when I talk about quality, like storytelling in ring, that was literally like a rise to the top. Last time they fought, he pushed Walter to his limit. They unfortunately lost. This time, he was ready for him. Still pushed Walter to his limit and ended up surviving and got that belt up out of that. And it was time for Walter to lose it anyway, because Walter had that motherfucker for the last like damn near 2 years. So, with all due respect to Walter, I love Walter, but man, Ilya Dragunov, shout out to him. He earned every bit of that title win, mind, body, and spirit. God damn.
Yes, sir. I mean, I don't think TakeOver requires a lot of explanation. Like, just straight up, TakeOver is just it's far superior. So if there was something to watch, it should be TakeOver for sure. If you like SummerSlam and because it was your bag, cool. If you can find positivity in wrestling, you know that this is what this podcast is pretty much all about.
Yeah,
watch what you like and
watch what you want to watch.
It was one of those things where, again, it became a weekend in Vegas with the boys.
Yes,
and wrestling was included.
Yes, yeah,
you know,
And even still, I would have enjoyed that. So,
Yes,
you know, man, I was glad I was glad y'all was out there having fun, alive and kicking. Every once in a while, I looked into the chat and I've seen pictures and everything like that. But yeah, otherwise, man, I definitely would enjoy being out there with y'all. Next time, at some point, we'll figure it out. But yeah, man. NXT Takeover 36.
Y'all, I was about to say, y'all done talking about NXT without talking about Samoa Joe?
I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah. I'm sorry. New NXT champion.
Not
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Friend of the show, Samoa Joe. I'm so sorry. You're right. You're absolutely right. My apologies. So yes, Samoa Joe.
Not Samoa Joe who brought the Muscle Buster back. Not that same.
Yo, that shocked the hell out of me. I was like, wait a minute, word? I couldn't believe, bro.
They had to do something. It was like when they gave Seth the stump back, you know. It was like Cross been beating everybody. What do you got in your arsenal that'll take them out? They were doing the submission game. They were kind of like
he pulled out everything.
They were stalling each other out with the submission game, so he had to pull something out.
And I guess it would have looked stupid because the Coquina clutch and the cross jacket, there's subtle differences, but they look like the same damn move. So if Samoa Joe was going to go over, he would have had to come with something fresh. And that move he was using on Raw just wasn't doing it. But now him bringing the Muscle Buster back for Cross specifically, that was perfect. Anybody else he could just choke out or whatever. But for somebody like Cross, yes, definitely bring back the Muscle Buster. That was perfect. He can actually take it. He has, you know. So right. he got the meat. But yeah,
about the rebrand that NXT might be going through. Like we don't necessarily know what the future of Joe is. But for them to bring them back and let them get that, that's right. For them to bring them back and let them get that win, you know.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I love it. You know, it's a great payoff. It sucks that for whatever reason it took for them to put him back in NXT or for him to go back to NXT to actually, you know, really be, you know, the man like I know he could be, but you know, it's fine. It's still the best product in WWE. So I'd rather him go to NXT and get down with some of that talent and really, really do the damn thing and whatever. Is Cross done? I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one as far as like being on the main roster full time.
He's on the main roster. So yeah. Consider him.
He had a match against Ricochet, and what better person to try to put for elevation, you know, rather than Ricochet.
Mm-hmm. You know how that goes. You know, Ricochet, the only TV time now he get is jobbing for motherfuckers. So, but that's a whole nother can of worms that we could open at any time.
The only thing that I'm real upset about is that apparently there's a new storyline with Baron Corbin. Apparently he won it big in Las Vegas and now is no longer going to be this Baron Corbin that I've come to really appreciate and have sympathy for. So now he's kind of like he's going to be in this new story angle where now he has money. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to have sympathy for Baron. Now that he's rich, it's going to be bad. But anyway, that's the thing. Wrestling keeps going. Wrestling don't stop for anybody.
It don't.
So all you got to do is just, you know, keep an eye out, and we'll continue to bring you the reactions, if you will. So just stay tuned, y'all.
Absolutely. So much more to come. So much more to talk about. A lot of wrestling out there. AEW's going crazy. We still got to see what this rebrand of NXT is really going to mean for the foreseeable future. And you know, we'll see what happens when the next parts of the Big Four come around. I think the next Big Four pay-per-view is what, Survivor Series, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's Extreme Rules.
Rules. I'm sorry.
Extreme Rules, then
Survivor Series. Yeah. So Extreme Rules up next. We'll see what happens going into Extreme Rules, and then usually Survivor Series is about the best thing that happens in pay-per-views when WWE does their thing. So yeah, there'll be there'll definitely be more to talk about for sure. And now, in honor of our homie Rock Knowledge, who is not here tonight, and something that we all like, let's get into a Matt Mania snack of the week. Ooh, to the we. And Teak, I'm gonna bring up the picture, but who do we have as far as snack of the week this time around, my friend?
This would be April K, who is snack of the week. G1, I believe, will put her information in the ticker tape below. She is a model / musician / activist / all natural, beautiful brown skin sister that you will come to enjoy.
Oh, that's April K. I forgot her friggin' name. Okay, and I was just on her profile earlier today. But yes, she most definitely is everything that Teak described. Let me pull up the pic here. Cool, I'm gonna share this window. Yep, there's the beautiful April K. Beautiful brown skin. Definitely is a guitar player, bass player. She got crazy attributes all over the entertainment world. You see her on the red carpet of the MasterCard Black Women Business situation there, just looking real phenomenal in black with the fro. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Natural hair, big thing for me. So much love to April K. Yeah, she's beautiful. And that's APRIL, like the month, KAE.NYC on Instagram. Please go follow her for us. Look her up. She's dope.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed.
And I think the burial of the week, I'll definitely want to bury at Allegiant Stadium. Never going back.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all. So you
I
know
was
what, the Raiders deserve that stadium. I'll tell you that. I don't know much about sports ball, but they deserve that
WWE had their own POS system, so they were still selling merch while we couldn't buy food.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. They wanted.
Wait, Teak, say that again. We lost your audio.
I said they wanted all the money going towards merch and nothing going towards food, so they were starving us.
You already know how that go.
Yeah. Man. Again, I ain't going back. I don't want to go back to Allegiant Stadium. Fuck that place.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think that's gonna
definitely put a bad taste in our mouth for the first time.
Yeah. I was not about it, man, but for sure. But I think that sums it up, unless y'all had anything else to add.
No, sir.
Yeah, nothing in particular. I want to give some family blessings publicly. As y'all already know, one of my older brothers, my closest older brother, Ron, aka Ron Mack, just moved out here to the Phoenix area from the crib, and we've been getting back to work on the studio side, doing what it is that we do. So definitely be on the lookout for some new 1313. That's me and my brother Ron Mack and G1 to the rescue. Be on the lookout for some new ESA shit. That's our group. We're a group of 5. So we definitely got some shit in the pipeline that we'll be unveiling as time goes on. But just happy that he's out here, and my nephew, my youngest nephew and my youngest niece get to be raised in an environment where they ain't got to worry about none of that bullshit, and they can kind of, be free and go places with their friends and that sort of thing. So blessings to them. That's all I really wanted to say.
Bless up.
Absolutely. But other than that, I think that is it, ladies and gentlemen. This was the Matt Mania Podcast. This is episode 202. And much love. Shouts out to everybody who tuned in. Blessings to everybody who couldn't be there today. But hopefully by the next time we do this, we'll have a full house. and we go ahead and get this cracking. Please continue to support us and pay that money. Patreon.com/Mania Podcast, as always. And continue to check us out here on the Facebook, on the Twitch. We're going to keep doing our thing. I know blessings to our brother podcast, of course, the Steel Cage. Blessings to those guys. Neo, I know you'll be on with them at some point if you guys haven't already recorded.
Yes, sir. We got another episode in the pipe, so be on the lookout. Shout outs to Geekscape for hosting us too. Check out all the amazing content on Geekscape. Of course, there's not only that, but you can also support our artists individually. Again, T-Call on Bandcamp, Best on Fridays, of course. And Mega Ran is out touring, buying merch. So just hit us up if you need anything. And so we appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Much love. And on that note, on behalf of T-Call, on behalf of the great Neo X, I am yours truly, your baby mama's favorite, G1 to the rescue, aka Poppy. And as always, in pardon, we wish you love, peace, stay safe, stay masked up, and please keep your shoulders off the mat.
We out.
Peace and love, y'all. Thank you for joining us. We out this bitch like a newborn baby. Ooh-wee.